Calendar now to tell us more about it.
Thanks a lot, Richie. Yes, as a special Australia Day treat today, we're going to show you 6 races live as well as the Test cricket. We're showing you 3 races from here at Randwick, races 3, 4 and 5. And from the big meeting at Flemington in Melbourne, we're showing you races 2, 4 and 5. The big race of the day, of course, is the Australia Day Handicap in Melbourne over 1,200 metres. This race used to be called the William Reid Stakes. And the big question today is, can Scalacci show his old form and repel all the young invaders? Well, Scalacci's a great horse, but I think today he'll have his colours lowered by Hariba. Hariba is an exciting prospect. He'll be favourite today, and I really think he'll beat Scalacci. You'll see it, of course, during the cricket this afternoon. In the other races in Melbourne, race 2, I like number 5, Regal Slippers, a good stayer. And in race 4, I like number 1, the heavyweight. Race 5, of course, number 7, Hariba. Up here in Sydney, races 3, 4 and 5 live. In race 3, I like number 5, My Pride and Joy. Race 4, I like number 1, a Jim Cassidy mount. I'm sorry, number 3 it is, Settlement in race 4. Be very hard to beat. It's drawn barrier 1. That's what I was thinking of. And in race 5, I like number 2, the Fledgling. Good luck, good punting. I'll see you during the day. Here's Richie.
Thanks, Ken. Kenny Callander with a rundown on all the sport, the cricket and the racing we'll be having later on this afternoon. Back in a moment at the Adelaide Oval.
74-metre staying races, race 2 in Melbourne, and the favourite is a last start winner of a 2,500-metre race, and that's Regal Slippers. She's showing a return of $3 or 2 to 1. Let's go to the top of the board. Del Mar hasn't got many supporters today. It's showing $7 or odds of 6 to 1. Varo's last, a little easy in the market, a good chance, $4.50. Furno is a scratching, and they've jumped with Regal Slippers the favourite. Here's John Russell.
Away pretty well, followed by Arctic Breeze and Fine Merino. East in behind them, Varo's last, and Del Mar's got back to the rear, passing the judge with a lap to go, not much pace on her. And the Rumour Guy in charge being tackled for the front, running by Arctic Breeze as they race out of the straighter. A length and a half further back in the box seat, Regal Slippers, closely attended by Master Pele. Over on the inside, Del Mar in company with Varo's last, and Fine Merino is tailed out to last. Along the riverside section of the track they race. Naruma Guy by a length to Arctic Breeze. A length and a half, Regal Slippers being followed closely by Master Pele. In behind them, Del Mar on the inside of Varo's last, who's next to last, and Fine Merino bringing up the rear. That's the order racing along the side. Just over 1,800 metres left to go. Naruma Guy in charge, a half length to Arctic Breezer. Close in behind them, getting a nice run as the favourite, Regal Slippers. She's closely attended by Master Pele, who's over on the outside of Del Mar. A length further back is Varo's last, second last, and last of all, Fine Merino, with about 6 lengths covering the field as they go by the 1,600 metre mark. And Naruma Guy in charge, led by over a length to Arctic Breeze, a length away third to Regal Slippers. Close up behind the Master Pele. Over on the inside is Del Mar, being followed by Varo's last, who's next to last, and Fine Merino still last of all. Little or no change in the order, and Naruma Guy cutting them along by a length to Arctic Breeze. 2 lengths further back, Regal Slippers, who's had a lovely run. She's followed by Master Pele. Over on the outside, Del Mar. Further back in the field, then Varo's last, and last of all is Fine Merino. They've left the 1,200 metre mark behind them. Still Naruma Guy making play. Led about a half length to Arctic Breeze, a length and a half, Regal Slippers, half a length to Master Pele. Then Del Mar, followed by Varo's last, and Fine Merino coming down the side past the 1,000. It's Naruma Guy over a length in advance here of Arctic Breeze. In behind them, Regal Slippers with the run of the race on the inside there of Master Pele. Varo's last commencing a move on the outside of Del Mar, and Fine Merino is last of all in the direction of the home turn. About 700 metres left to go, and Arctic Breeze has moved alongside this leader, Naruma Guy, about a length clear of Regal Slippers. Close in behind the Master Pele at the 600, a length and a half to Varo's last, followed by Del Mar and Fine Merino. They're rounding the home turn. Arctic Breeze on the outside has got his head in front now of Naruma Guy, fighting on pretty well and pull to the outside. Joining in quickly as Regal Slippers as they're homeward bound. Down the outside, Master Pele. Varo's last, back behind them, Fine Merino and Del Mar. 350 metres left to go. They're stretched across the track. Master Pele is tackling Regal Slippers. Regal Slippers has taken a slight lead from Master Pele, and joining in down the outside with a good run as Varo's last. Regal Slippers under the whippers, claimed by Varo's last. Deeper on the track, Varo's last has taken the lead from Master Pele. It's Varo's last drawing clear in the final stages, and Varo's last comes away. Varo's last by a length and a half, Master Pele. Third home, Regal Slippers, every chance, followed by Fine Merino, Del Mar, Naruma Guy second last, and the last to finish is Arctic Breeze.
Well, Varo's last, far too good there. Time to go back to the Test cricket at Adelaide Oval and the Chappell brothers.
Thank you, Ken Callander. Damien Fleming continued Mike Gatting, his strongest shot. He said he got plenty of practice when he got the 200 up in Queensland at Toowoomba.
Bill, well, from excitement at the Adelaide Oval to excitement here at Randwick. It's a 1,600 metre race for fillies and mares. Number 1, Donette, paying $4.50. Number 2, Mercy, $3.60. Undersale, $5.50. Reign of Honour, $7. My Pride and Joy, $11. Mighty Glance, $12. Star Maze, $7. And Another Symphony, $16. The best caller in the business, John Tapp.
Off and running. Star Maze, a shade slow to move at the start. Mighty Glance bounced out in front, headed straight away by Mercy, going to the lead, but under a nice hold. Another Symphony moving to third on the outside, followed by Undersale. Then Reign of Honour, and getting back a little bit in the early stages is My Pride and Joy. Donette is travelling a bit wide in the run-up to the first turn, and back at the tail after a slow start is Star Maze. Mercy steadied in front, led by a length and a half to Another Symphony on the outside of Mighty Glance as they go up to the first turn. 2 lengths away then is Undersale on the inside of Donette. A length and a half to My Pride and Joy. Nearly a length to Reign of Honour, and a bit more than a length to Star Maze last as they approach the crossing at the 800 mark. Mercy is going a nice gallop, and she pricks the ears in front, led by a length to Another Symphony. 2 to Mighty Glance, a length to Donette. Undersale is hugging the rail at the 800 mark, followed by My Pride and Joy. Then Reign of Honour with Star Maze last, about 8 lengths from the lead. Coming to the 600 mark, Mercy going a nice gallop, led by a length and a quarter to Another Symphony. 2.5 to Mighty Glance. A neck away Donette on the outside. My Pride and Joy taking closer order around Undersale, followed by Reign of Honour and Star Maze, but heads a turn for home, and Mercy is a clear-cut leader, led by more than a length to Another Symphony as they come over the rise. They're well clear of Donette, and then Mighty Glance, My Pride and Joy, and Reign of Honour. Mercy kicked. She put about 2 lengths on Another Symphony at the 200 mark. Further out, Reign of Honour running on well with My Pride and Joy, but Mercy well clear with 100 to go. Here's the danger, Reign of Honour. Reign of Honour is getting home fast in second place now, but Mercy's holding on to that lead, and Mercy led all the way to win over Reign of Honour with Another Symphony third. Then Undersale, My Pride and Joy, Mighty Glance and Star Maze, and Donette weakened in the last bit to finish at the tail of the field.
Well, an all-the-way win to Mercy, God bless her, and if you've backed her on the New South Wales TAB, she'll pay $3.50. That's her in front for the apprentice Len Beasley. Beasley rode her a treat, working out the speed in front and going at the right time. Now the danger out wide in the yellow. That's Reign of Honour. Reign of Honour, ridden by Craig Carmody, comes home strongly, but the winning post was too close, and the placings will be 2 Mercy first, 4 Reign of Honour second, 8 Another Symphony third. It's back to Bill Laurie and Tony Gregg at the Adelaide Oval.
Thank you, Ken Callender. McIntyre.
Just confirmation of the placings in that Randwick race. 2, 4 and 8 the TAB numbers. Mercy, Reign of Honour and Another Symphony. Mercy paid $3.50 for a win, $1.50 a place. Reign of Honour $2.10 the place, and Another Symphony $4.20. And bear in mind they are New South Wales dividends. For
Melbourne, a 1,000 metre scamper and 16 runners. It should be a spectacle. Here are the approximate tote dividends. $4.50 for the heavyweight, second favourite. $16 Roxy Dancer, $51 Prince Acumen. Chad's Luck at $10. Cosmic Tris $41. Pugwall $15. The favourite Physical Pearl hovering around the $3 even mark, odds of about 2 to 1. Bookies are a fraction more generous. Ark Raj at $26, Ellerswood at $31, South Prospect $17, Sister Indian $21, Masterpiece $7.50, Ninja Dan $61, Pints Pride $126, Complete Control $34, and Lou Hook, Kevin Forrester's mount, is at $61. Don't forget, it's a straight race. There's no corners. They come straight down the straight at Flemington, and boy oh boy, I've never called a race down the straight at Flemington, but those who have, including John Tapp, tell me that it's an absolute nightmare. The favourite here, Physical Pearl, if you're looking for her, races in cerise colours, cerise with white V and a white sleeves, and she's ridden by the apprentice Danny Beasley. She's actually trained up on the border at Wodonga. The heavyweight, the second favourite, is ridden by Patrick Payne. What a jockey he is. The heavyweight drawn out in barrier 12, races in maroon and fawn diagonal stripes. Maroon and fawn diagonal stripes for the heavyweight, and Physical Pearl in cerise and white. The third favourite, Masterpiece, is in violet and emerald green colours, so they should stand out. Stephen King to ride Masterpiece. That's Ark Raj going along there in the black colours, number 8. They're just about all in. I think it's an opportune time for us to cross to Flemington, and our caller, who'll do an excellent job, is John Russell.
Luhak is one of them. Pugwalla's on the inside. Cosmic Tris stands up well. Pine's Pride, Roxy Dancer, Prince Acumen, Ark Raj, Ninja Dan. Luhak moving in. Complete Control is set. Masterpiece is ready. The heavyweights moved up. Been knocking on the door. It's been running minor placings galore in recent starts, the heavyweight. Sister Indian ready. Here's Chad's Luck coming up, waiting on Physical Pearl, a last start winner here. South Prospect will be on the extreme outside of the line. And there's Chad's Luck going up. So Physical Pearl to come in. South Prospect is ready. They're all set to go. Race 4 on the card at Flemington. Ready to run. And they're racing, and the heavyweight jumped out pretty well and looking for the grandstand side. And Physical Pearl out there began very speedily with South Prospect just behind them. Chad's Luck is going very fast, and so is Sister Indiana. And Ella's Wooden towards the flat side rail. Pine's Pride is the leader down there from Pugwall, being followed by Cosmic Tris, and just in behind them Ninja Dana. Luhak is prominent in the centre, and just behind them is Complete Control, followed by a Masterpiece from Prince Acumen. And back behind them Ark Raj and Roxy Dancer over near the inside towards the grandstand side of the track. Physical Pearl is the leader by length, the Sister Indian, just in behind them the heavyweight, followed by Chad's Luck, who's up in the leading group, and they're right across the track at the 400-metre mark. Physical Pearl is a clear leader on the grandstand side, and they look to have it, the grandstand horses. Physical Pearl, the heavyweight, starting to run on pretty well, and they're followed by Sister Indian, Chad's Luck, and over on the inside Pugwall is the leader, but it's Physical Pearl clear of the heavyweight in the final stages. Physical Pearl, the heavyweight, finishing very strongly. The heavyweight took the lead. The heavyweight came away on the line to score from Physical Pearl. Chad's Luck or Masterpiece for third ahead of Pugwall, then Complete Control, followed by Ella's Wood, and further back Ninja Dan, Prince Acumen, followed by Roxy Dancer, then Luhak, next home Cosmic Tris, followed by South Prospect, and well back to Pine's Pride, Ark Raj, and one of the tail enders is Sister Indian.
Well, the heavyweight and Patrick Payne, too strong for the favourite Physical Pearl. Now it's back to Richie Bonneau and Jeff Boycott at the test.
Thank you, Kenny. No heavyweights in this Keep Fit commentary box.
To get through these prices. Number 1, Circle of Gold, been well backed in the ring, is showing $6.50. Opera Weekend, a little bit unsteady, out to $6. Number 3, Settlement, $4.30. I think she can run well. Magnetic Bell at $12. Rationane is favourite on the tote, in now to $3.90. 21, Notable Lady, 10, Narwhalla, 34, Quadraphonic Sound, $21, Blue Valley, 17, Festive Fire, $21, Just Cruising, and $67 out to about $80 now, My Cousin Rachel. Johnny Tapp, I thought that Settlement would get a Butte run from Barrier 1.
Ken, I couldn't agree more, and she'll be ridden in Butte style by Jimmy Cassidy, who rode the first winner here today. Jim's in good form at the moment, and this filly by lunchtime has the form on the board. 3 placings on the trot, and she certainly deserves to break through. She won't be hard to find if you're watching the race, because she has the number 1 barrier to begin with, and she carries simple but very conspicuous colours, an all yellow jacket and a black cap, and they sure stand out. Now the last couple move up, and they appear to be set and ready for dispatch. The Galaxy TV handicap. They face squarely. Amber light flashing on top. Starter Jim Bolus about to release the field. Settlement, the inside runner. Rationane stands well. So does Blue Valley. They're off. Good start. Dropping to the tail of the field is My Cousin Rachel, and Blue Valley bounced out in front. Opera Weekend and Circles of Gold began well. Settlement quickly pushing along the fence into a prominent spot, followed by Rationane. Just behind those Quadraphonic Sound, and then Just Cruising, followed by Notable Lady. Further back Magnetic Bell, and then My Cousin Rachel, and back towards the tail Festive Fire in company with Narwhalla. Around that first bend, and Blue Valley on the outside is a narrow leader over Settlement. In third place Circles of Gold. Opera Weekend in a handy spot. A bit more than a length then to Quadraphonic Sound, followed by Rationane, who's only 5 lengths off the lead. Further back Notable Lady, followed by Just Cruising, and then Festive Fire. Well back My Cousin Rachel, Magnetic Bell, and a length away last Narwhalla as they come to the 600 mark. Blue Valley on the outside is just shading Settlement. Circles of Gold makes a line of 3. Opera Weekend tracking those leaders into the straight. Quadraphonic Sound is next, and then Rationane about 5 off the lead, followed by Notable Lady and Just Cruising. Flattening for the run to the judge, coming over the rise. Circles of of Gull, Blue Valley and Settlement are the 3 leaders. Opera Weekend putting in a dash, and Rationane to the extreme outside is starting to wind up. Settlement close to the fences. In front though, inside the 200 mark, is clear of Opera Weekend, Blue Valley and Rationane on the extreme outside, but Settlement is holding them all at bay. And Jimmy Cassidy shooting for the double. Settlement running about in the last bit, but won well. Circles of Gull got second, third's close. Rationane wide out, or Notable Lady close to the fence. Right up there with them is Opera Weekend, followed by Blue Valley, just cruising, Quadraphonic Sound, Magnetic Bell and Nawala. A mile back is Festive Fire, and last of all is My Cousin Rachel.
Well, Jimmy Cassidy had Settlement under a stranglehold all the way to the turn on the inside. She just drifted out a little bit in the straight, but when he asked her for some more, there was plenty of petrol in the tank. And as you can see on that replay, he's actually easing her down right on the line. $4.30 the winner. The second horse, a very good run as well, Circles of Gold. And now it's back to Adelaide in the test to Ian and Greg Chappell.
The series so far. The results from race 4 at Flemington. King William Road, between the Adelaide Oval and the centre of the city. A few storms predicted for late this afternoon as we just have a look at the Randwick race 4 results.
Welcome back to everyone around Australia as well, and I can tell you that this Australia Day has already produced plenty of good cricket and a lot of good sport. As always on Australia Day, we're going to mix the sport. We're taking you now to Flemington for the next race. It's the Australia Day Stakes, and here is Ken Callender.
Thank you, Richie. Yes, this is the big one, the clash of Hariba, the short-priced favourite against the old champ Scalacci. Here are the approximate tote dividends. Scalacci showing at $6, might even get out a fraction to about $6.50. Durbridge at $41, Primacy at $12, all good horses these. Never Undercharged $21, Blue Boss $26. Paris Lane, the Caulfield Cup winner, runner-up in the Melbourne Cup, might find it a little short at $12. Hariba between about $1.80 and $1.70 now on the Victorian TAB. Sequalo paying $7. Belzevere at $100, Spanish Mix just over $30, and Alcove at $67. 11 runners, but what a classy field they are. Hariba has drawn barrier 1, sounds terrific, but you know, it's not always the fastest part down the straight, but I think he's got the speed to be wherever his jockey wants to put him. And the jockey, of course, is Simon Marshall, a top-grade big race jockey. Hariba in the 1, that's him in the sort of grey and pink colours. They're just about all in now. Time for us to go to Flemington to our caller, John Russell.
Scalacci's gone up. He's 2 from the outside. Sequalo moves in. The line just about set. All ready for a start. Waiting for the light. There it is, they're off and running. Great start too in the Australia Stakes. And Hariba on the inside, one of the first into stride from Alcove, and Durbridge got out well. Dropping in behind them, Paris Lane towards the outside. Sequalo hitting straight for the outside rail in company with Belzevere. Scalacci showing plenty of tower. And so also is Blue Boss in behind them, followed by Never Undercharge. Now 2 divisions as they race down with 850 metres left to go, and down the flat side. Hariba is well clear down there by about 3 lengths to Durbridge. Close up behind them, Primacy, a length and a half. Paris Lane followed by Alcove. And over on the grandstand side, Sequalo is the leader out there from Scalacci, and just in behind them, Belzevere, Spanish Mix coming into the picture. Blue Boss is in behind them, followed by Never Undercharge. They come down to the course proper. 500 metres left to go. And Hariba travelling sweetly down on the inside, led 4 lengths to Primacy, 4 lengths away Durbridge. Down the grandstand side, Sequalo is leading with Scalacci, tackling him, and Spanish Mix is in behind them as they come to the 250. Hariba over on the inside is clear down there. Down the grandstand side, it's Sequalo and Scalacci, but Hariba's all on his own. He's going to bolt in, Hariba. He's a champion. Hariba will bolt in. He wins by 6 lengths. Spanish Mix is second, Scalacci third. Fourth home, Sequalo, followed by Primacy. Belzevere, Blue Boss back behind them, Durbridge, Paris Lane second last, and Alcove's run last.
Wowee, that's what you call a win. The new champion of the Australian turf, Hariba. We'll take a short break and then be back to the Adelaide Oval to Richie Benaud. Again, Richie, yes, we've just had the Australia Stakes in Melbourne and want to win Hariba. That's what you call pure speed, and you'll be hearing a lot more of that horse. Here in Sydney, we've got a staying test for the Australia Day Cup. It's over 2,400 metres, not a real quality field, but a handy field all the same. No Haribas, even at this distance. Balmaressa is the favourite, trained by Gay Waterhouse. Gay's not at Randwick today. She's over in New Zealand for the Karaka yearling sales in Auckland. She's always on the lookout for good horses. Balmaressa favourite, paying $3. The fledgling has come in a little now to about $8. I think he's got a good chance. Darren Beedman, the jockey, a little bit of a risk at the 2,400 metres. Spiritual Star, TAB number 3, prefers a wet track, but he's nicely in here, is paying $4.30. Yasult number 4, getting out towards $7 now. Tusk Hunter, TAB number 5, is showing at $16. Number 6, Salcante, to be ridden by the Channel 9 man Shane Dye, paying $8.50. K-Kane, Good Honest Plotter, is showing at around about $18 now, almost out to $20. Zinder's TAB number 8 is showing at $25, out to $26. Lucky Dip is showing about the same price, or they're just getting out as I speak, closer now to $30, $31. And Tiki Touchwood, TAB number 10, not badly in with her lightweight. Kevin Moses, the jockey, she's showing just a little bit upwards of $17. John, no champs in this race, nothing with the pure speed, of course, of Hariba, but a pretty even field.
Yes, Ken, I couldn't agree more. Spiritual Star's a funny horse, isn't he? He seems to be an absolute specialist at 2,400 metres. He won the Summer Cup here over that trip on Boxing Day. Switched back to 2,000 at Rose Hill the other day, and on face value was disappointing. But back up to 2,400 on the big Randwick track. I'm not going to be one bit surprised if he wins again.
Johnny, he's well placed here, and he's surely got a good chance. But I just get the feeling with him that he goes a little bit better when the edge is off the track, Spiritual Star. The Inghams have 2 runners, fledgling to be ridden by Darren Beedman, and Yasult with the young stable jockey, Michael Evans.
Ken, we have a couple of important changes of colour in the race for people trying to pick the colours that horses normally race in. Look out for Isolt, who's in special colours today. White, blue Australia Day logo and armbands with a yellow and green quartered cap. And Kay Cornet is in a dark blue jacket with the Australian flag insignia front and back, white sleeves and a red cap. It's a nice little touch, and one I'm sure the crowd appreciates. For racing commentators, of course, it's a nuisance, because we've got to rethink. Now Salcante moves into barrier 4. Tusk Hunter is in the gates. Tiki Touchwood in barrier 2. Spiritual Star has the inside stall. Or rather, the fledgling in the inside, Spiritual Star in barrier 5, and he moves up now. Now there's Isolt in the Australia Day logo colours, going into gate 6. This little mare, Balmaressa, ridden by Larry Cassidy. Larry Cassidy's riding on a stay of proceedings today, pending his appeal. He was suspended by stewards at Canterbury yesterday for a total of 6 meetings. Most untimely, because he's within half a win of the premiership leader Glenn Boss, and he was absolutely flying, Larry Cassidy, when the stewards stopped him dead in his tracks yesterday. But he is riding Balmaressa here, and he's about to move in now in the red colours with the white cap. Now Balmaressa goes up into barrier 8. We wait for Zinders and Kay Cornet. Now here's Kay Cornet in the colours of the Australian flag with Aaron Kennedy on board. Now he swings sideways on. And Zinders is still out. Trainer Bobby Thompson has Zinders and Kay Cornet engaged in the race. They're the only... No, 3. He's also got Salcante. So he is the best represented trainer here, R.H. Thompson. Now Kay Cornet goes up into barrier 9, and that leaves only Zinders. Bobby Thompson has 3 runners in the race. Now Zinders goes up on the extreme outside, and they're all set. Track cleared in front, ready for action in the Australia Day Cup. The turf on the course proper at Randwick Racecourse was damaged during the papal visit last Thursday week, and it looks like it too. Off and running. Pretty good start towards the outside. Kay Cornet and Balmaressa began well, and so did Zinders. Closer down to the rail side, Tiki Touchwood is one of the leaders. The fledgling will settle about 5th, followed by Tusk Hunter, and then Lucky Dip and Salcante on the inside of Spiritual Star. Dropping out last is Isolt, but on the turn out of the straight, and Kay Cornet in the Australian flag colours has burst away to to lead by nearly 3 lengths to Tiggy Touchwood. A similar margin to Balmaressa in the box seat, followed by the Fledgling on the inside of Zinders. A gap then to Lucky Dip on the outside of Tusk Hunter, followed by Salcantay, Spiritual Star. 2 lengths away last, Isolt. Past the 1800 metres mark, and the pace is solid, and Kay Cornet going at a very good gallop as he approaches the mile crossing, led by 2.5 to Tiggy Touchwood, 2 to Balmaressa in the box seat. Zinders on the outside of the Fledgling, about 2.5 to Lucky Dip on the outside of Tusk Hunter, 2 to Spiritual Star on the outside of Salcantay, and a length away last is Isolt as they head down the back of the course. 1400 out, and Kay Cornet a clear-cut leader by 2 to Tiggy Touchwood, 2 to Balmaressa, followed by the Fledgling. Ahead away Zinders, 2 to Tusk Hunter, followed by Lucky Dip, and a gap then to Spiritual Star from Salcantay and Isolt last of all. They've got 1,200 to go, and it's Kay Cornet, a clear-cut leader by more than a length to Tiggy Touchwood. Balmaressa enjoying a nice run in third spot, followed by the Fledgling, and ahead away on the outside Zinders. About 2 to Tusk Hunter on the inside of Lucky Dip. Spiritual Star on the outside of Salcantay, and still Isolt is last of all as they swing around that top turn. They've gone at a very good pace throughout, and the leader Kay Cornet. Tiggy Touchwood second, Balmaressa third. Lucky Dip is about to move forward 3 deep, followed by the Fledgling, and then Zinders, and Tusk Hunter is out 3 wide. Look at them pack up now, followed by Spiritual Star. Salcantay on the fence, and Isolt is about to whip around the outside. Only 6 lengths covers the field as they come to the turn. 500 out, Kay Cornet the leader over Tiggy Touchwood in the centre. 3 deep Balmaressa, 4 deep Lucky Dip, and then the Fledgling, followed by Tusk Hunter. Further back Zinders, and then Isolt, followed by Salcantay and Spiritual Star last as they come over the rise. Kay Cornet joined again by Tiggy Touchwood, Balmaressa and Lucky Dip. Further out the Fledgling, and Salcantay is running on pretty well. Tiggy Touchwood put the head in front past the 200. Kay Cornet coming again, and the Fledgling on the outside. It's the Fledgling going after Tiggy Touchwood and Kay Cornet. The Fledgling is going home best, and Darren Beedman drives the Fledgling to the lead in the shadows of the post, and the Fledgling beat Tiggy Touchwood and Kay Cornet. Close up Isolt, followed by Balmaressa, Spiritual Star, Salcantay, and then Zinders and Lucky Dip, and last of all is Tusk Hunter.
Well, I enjoyed that. Having backed the Fledgling, we'll now take a short break, and then after that, back to Richie Benaud at the Adelaide Oval.
Yes, the word from Flemington is that Kenny Callender picked the winner there, and apparently has picked 4 out of 6 today. It's 4 out of 6 of the tips that he gave earlier today. That's race 5 at Randwick. So Kenny Callender certainly has had a good day, not just for himself, but for all the people that listen to him.